Going. How are we all doing?
Doing all right so far. Hope you guys are doing pretty well today. I'm just finishing up my lipstick, hoping not to get a ton of it all over my teeth. The struggle is real. So go ahead, honey, while I do this part, because it's hard to talk and do this.
No, that's okay. You do that. I will talk. I'm good at talking. So we've got hellos already from AW, from Liz Lyons. Let's see. AW asked, which wig is everyone wearing? I said I wasn't wearing one. We've got Angela Burns saying, hello, I'm wearing a very wind-blown peppermint.
That sounds like an ice cream flavor or something.
Wind-blown peppermint.
Wind-blown peppermint.
Wind-blown peppermint. Sister Wigs Forever Anya and Coco Swirl says, AW. Excellent. Liz is Vaughn and Moonlit Orchid. Excellent.
Oh, I love Vaughn. Hi, Liz.
Stacy says, I have on my January.
Hi, Stacy.
Cat B says, holographic blonde poppy. And Tina says, hola, y'all.
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Excellent. So, marvelous. In case you're wondering, we are Heather and Nigel.
Yes.
From Sister Wigs. And here we are. We're getting ready to premiere something very shortly.
I'm fluffing everything to the nth degree. I'm going full Richard Simmons right now.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Sex appeal. I got it.
Definitely. Well, I think so anyway.
Shameless self-promotion achieved.
Definitely.
Yes.
Now, just so you know, our live streams are usually tipsy. Not today. More on that in a second. Generally unprofessional, slightly rowdy, and we try to make it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So there will be a bit of cussing. It's going to be a bit NSFW if you're going to watch it later. And we may have some adult content. You know, paying taxes and making shopping lists and arthritis and all that.
Again, the sex appeal abounds.
So, if you want something stuffy and professional and rehearsed and stilted, you've come to the wrong place. Yeah. We are the weirdos, and we try to make things interesting.
Yeah, we do. All right, so I think that I want to kind of share what's on this other screen I got going on over here real quick. So, boop. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about what we did on summer vacation.
Yep.
It's an entire little thing. You can chat with us live on Facebook and YouTube for sure. I don't know if the Vimeo comments are popping in here, but I hope we see some eventually.
I haven't seen one yet. It's mostly been YouTube.
Yeah, but I mean, just know we're trying to find a place where we can all hang out together, and eventually the goal is to get off of YouTube. I've already talked about that at length, so I won't bore you with the details here, but let's just say I'm not real into what YouTube's been doing as a company lately. So I would like to go do other things elsewhere and hopefully find a place where we can all hang out, chat. Haven't found it yet, though. Funny thing that happens when a single company has a monopoly on a concept.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it makes the options not quite as easy to find.
Meanwhile, we need to get some Trustbusters in here.
That's right. So let's see here. In today's fun little thingy, you will see all kinds of stuff, but I just want to give you a little heads up about what next week's theme is going to be, because we're going to be doing this again, same bat time, I should say same cat, because we have a cat for a logo. Same cat time, same cat channel.
And we're going to want you to participate.
Hey, we are going to make next week's theme the world's best, worst fake band names. So behold, our epic fake band's next epic, also fake album cover. Oh yeah. Nigel being far away and visionary. Me, I'm all teeth. No makeup. Sexy. So can you help us name our band an album based on this picture? It's kind of a caption this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And keep watching for more details. We'll talk about this a little bit more towards the end of everything going on. I also want to give you a little update about the teal color we were trying to develop, our moon kitty color. You guys had a few weeks to give us your feedback, and it seems like the consensus is heat-friendly synthetic. So this is what it's going to end up looking like. And this is on our Mirabella wig. And that's it up close. You can kind of see the transition in the ombre, get a little detail of the color. It looks really, really cool. I would really interested in making a color that was a little bit like our Moon Kitty, so I actually superimposed the Moon Kitty logo onto that a little bit so you can kind of see what we were going for here. So hopefully you like it. So you can expect this color to start showing up in 2022 because it does take several months to start producing these things from the moment they're approved. Yeah. So, you know, 5 to 7 months should be expected. So thank you for your help while we tried to make this choice between the heat-friendly and the non-heat-friendly versions of these colors. And I also wanted to let you know that we're going to show you some more alternative hair stuff for this particular video. That's why I started off like this and I tried to frizz it out a little bit even on top of it because I want to show you this topper that we just got in. This is Lydia. She'll be available for the fall. This is a heat-friendly topper. We decided to go with heat-friendly synthetic for all of our toppers because the fiber is a little less shiny. So it tends to integrate a little bit better. That way also if you need to adjust the texture to match your natural hair texture, it's a little bit easier to achieve. But here, I'm gonna go ahead and make this the whole window.
Right.
Whoop.
Good
Hi. This is what the inside of Lydia looks like. And the color I'm going to be demoing today is Prismatic Ebony. I'll talk about that in just a second. But you can see Lydia's got a lace front. She's got a monofilament top. All of that is hand drawn. She's only got wefts in the back for a little bit of extra volume at the crown. That's what that part of it looks like. And I'll show you some more in-depth pictures of it in just a moment. So in case I'm going too fast for you, you'll get to see this all again. And this does have pressure-sensitive clips. In fact, I'm of the mindset that the more clips you have, the safer and the more comfortable the topper tends to be. So in this case, we put a whole whopping 7 clips in this topper. And this is a topper that is appropriate for people all the way from don't need the hair, just want a little bit of extra volume, to people who have intermediate to advanced hair loss, but not really super duper advanced hair loss. Like I have pretty advanced hair loss. And there are some tricks I have to employ in order to get this topper to fit properly and to be comfortable on me. And that's really what I'm going to demo here for you this evening. I'm also going to take this puppy. Will this reach me? Will I actually be able to?
I'm not sure.
Well, can you please verify, honey? Yeah, I need you to make it, put it, I can't talk. Plug it in a place where I can actually,
Oh dear.
My head. Yeah, that's not.
Give me a second.
This is his first time trying to help me get this kind of styling demo with the heat tool together. So I don't think he was really thinking about the cord. Yeah, but what we're going to do, just a little foreshadowing, is we're going to have to straighten my hair a little bit because my hair is much curlier than the topper. And in fact, I should dial this all the way back to kind of give you some good ideas about what to do if you're looking for a topper at all, particularly if you've got curly hair like me or just hormonally crazy textured hair, which is pretty normal. Don't feel bad if that's the case. I've also heard that folks who go through chemotherapy, it's not uncommon for their hair when it comes back in to come back in all kinds of interesting textures. You may have to go get an extension cord or something, honey. That looks almost vulgar.
Bugger.
And as soon as I said vulgar, he said bugger, making it so. So just yes, he's gonna work on that. But in the meantime, I wanted to kind of show this to you and talk a little bit about this. So some strategy is going to be necessary if you want to wear a topper and you have curly hair, because the goal with toppers, I know a lot of people think you want your hair color to match the topper, you want the length of your hair to match the topper, but honestly with a topper that's got this much coverage, that's not really the issue. You're really going to want to make sure that the texture of the hair matches as closely as possible. That's really the key to getting it to look natural, because think about wig hair colors for a second and how they're laid out. It's not uncommon, for example, for wig colors to be different colors at the nape than they are on top. And the way that this topper is laid out, it will cover all of this in the back. So even though my hair, even when I straighten it, won't be this length, and definitely is more gray and ashier than this color. It is not a complete 100% match. You can kind of see the little bits of white poking through, but it's close enough. And I'm going to show you how to make this work once he's done plugging that in. So while he's getting that part, let me share a little bit more about Lydia in case you are interested. We'll do that. Or maybe, here we go. I'll do that. Hey, technology. So here we go. The product is Lydia by Wigs Forever. So it's the same as the Anya and Mirabella, except this is hand-tied. The hand-tied monofilament base, as I mentioned, hand-tied contoured lace front. So it is pre-cut and contoured, just like all the premium toppers we carry at Sister Wigs. Has 7 pressure-sensitive clips and premium heat-friendly synthetic fiber, which, as I mentioned, is awesome if you need it to match the texture of your hair. And these are the colors that it's going to come in, and it's going to be released in November. So we're going to release it in Black Magic, which is basically like a number 2, Earth and Ash, which is an 814 combination. And I'll tell you more about these things once they're released. I'll even show you what this topper looks like in every color if you're interested. Just let me know in the comments. Our very popular Aniston Foil R, Beach House R, Hazelnut Truffle R, which is a lot like the shaded hazelnut color from Raquel Welch, if you like that. Illuminati R, Prismatic Ebony R, which I'm holding, and the Whipped Honey R, which is, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe that one. It's just a really pretty warm, medium honey blonde that has a really pretty natural golden blonde highlight on top. It's very, very pretty. I'll show you that one when we release it too. And this color, again, is Prismatic Ebony. And this is what she looks like on all sides before you comb her. And in fact, I haven't combed her yet. So you're getting a good look at her from every angle. And that's what a really close-up shot of the front of this looks like, and the back. So you can kind of see all 7 of those clips and how they are laid out. Also, that there is a seam between the lace front and the monofilament top. There you go, another angle of that. And that's what the front of that looks like, really, really super up close. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go back to me and Nigel. So I wanted to thank you for getting that taken care of, honey.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. So I'm going to monopolize the screen just a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take little sections. And this isn't like a precision thing. I'm just going to straighten this a little bit because the topper is a little bit on the curly side. But my hair is obviously a lot fluffier and kinkier. So I'm just going to relax it a little bit with this flat iron. So I'm going to let Nigel read some comments, and in the other side of the screen, you're going to see me doing this thing.
All righty. Right. NYT Bomb is wearing Poppy and Peach Bellini.
Woohoo!
Liz says your bio hair is so cute, Heather.
Thank you. It's very, very curly.
Cheryl says, hi, folks. Hi, Cheryl.
Hello.
How do you watch from Facebook? The only link I got was for YouTube. Well, if you go to our Facebook pages, either the Moon Kitty or the main Facebook page, you should be able to see the video streaming right there.
Yes.
So that should...
in fact, it should notify you towards the top of the page if you're on Facebook.
Yeah. Bettina says, Heather, your hair is dark.
Yeah, it's getting long too. I am not accustomed to it being this long. I used to shave it all off. I'm kind of eager to do that again when we're done with these toppers.
Peg says, oh, Heather, you look super lovely.
Oh, thank you.
And I agree.
Oh, I love you guys.
Gwyn says, hi, Heather and Nigel. Hi, Gwyn.
Hello.
Kathleen Simmons says, hello there. Hello.
Hi there.
Terry says, that is beautiful. Tina says, love it. They're talking about
the topper,
the prismatic
yeah.
topper. Yeah, of course. Kathleen Ryan. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, everyone. Ooh, love Moon Kitty. Pegwitch says, which roots? With roots. Yes. Are we talking about the Moon Kitty? In which case,
it is an unrooted color.
It is unrooted.
No roots on that one because it's ombre. It's a little darker on top to begin with.
Yeah. Kathleen Simmons says, I'm so glad to be here. I'm recovering from getting COVID, even with getting vaccine. I'm on the end of it, I believe. Well, I hope you make a full recovery,
yes,
Kathleen,
definitely.
With no unexpected side effects afterwards.
And that has to be frustrating to do
Yeah.
the stuff you're supposed to do and then still end up getting it.
Yeah, that's terrible. AW says, fun colors for toppers, never before seen.
That's
Well,
right.
Guess what? she's doing it.
That's right. I actually wore toppers for over a decade before I moved into full wigs. And so I was always kind of bummed out because all the topper colors were kind of, well, normal. I won't say boring. I'll just say normal. And that has its place, particularly if you're wearing them for work or something. But if you work at a cool workplace, maybe you could get away with this, you know? But in real life, I'm rainbow colored.
Yes. Liz says extra clips are good. I hate having to glue down a topper.
Yeah, for sure.
Jackie says, hi, everybody. So excited to be invited to the cocktail party. I feel like I'm with friends.
Yay!
Excellent.
Well, you are.
I'm wearing my Harlow blonde poppy, and I love her. So lightweight and comfy and cool.
Oh,
Thank you, Jackie.
excellent.
That's
Yes.
excellent.
I love Poppy.
Facebook user. I'm sorry your name isn't
No,
showing
that
up
must
here.
be
There's-
somebody in the Moon Kitty group because it's a private group. Anybody who comments from there is going to show up as Facebook user.
Good evening, everyone. So, good evening.
Good evening. That makes me think of, by the way, have you guys ever seen Hello, Hello?
Hello, hello. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, hello. It's a British sitcom that is a parody of another World War II era drama called Secret Army. Only it's a sitcom. And you were saying?
Yeah. One of my favorite things on there is the guy who does all the malaprops.
Yes. There's a British agent who has been sent to help the French resistance during the war, and unfortunately, his French is not very good.
It's good.
So every time he walks in the door, good morning.
Yeah, so now we just say good morning to each
I
other.
have a massage for you, for Ronnie.
It's so good. Oh, you don't get cheesy wordplay like that in comedy anymore, but it's very good. All right, I want to take a moment just to kind of show you what I'm doing to the one side because I haven't done it to the other. You can see, well, I did kind of relax this bit over here preemptively, so I'm going to hold that down. But you can see that's real fluffy still, real curly and kinky. And this side, I mean, I didn't try to take all the curl out with the flat iron. You can see I'm just kind of, and you could do the exact same thing, by the way, with the hot air brush, which might even be easier. I just like taming the frizz at the same time, which the hot air brush is good at straightening things and stuff, but it could actually, with my hair texture, make it frizzier because it's already kind of brittle and hormonal, PCOS, thanks. But it's already really prone to frizzing, and I live in Georgia. So I wanted to make sure that I use the flat iron to try to make it a little silkier so it isn't so jarring.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, when I started taking the chemo for my rheumatoid arthritis, it did make my hair come in a little frizzy. But now I'm living in Georgia.
Oh yeah,
Frizztacular.
it's pretty impressive actually. All right, I'm gonna put you back on here, and I'll take over the screen again when I do the top because I have special instructions for that. But I'm gonna proceed to this other side now.
All right, I'm gonna continue with the comments.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up. Kristen says, hi everyone.
Howdy,
Hi,
Kristen.
Cat B says menopause does it too.
I've heard that. My mom has warned me abundantly.
AW says, same thing I deal with when wearing my wigs. Flat ironing the hairline of my bio hair is the first part of my wig routine. Makes my hair blend into the wig fibers, or I look rained on and frizzy.
I think that is a really, really good tip, honestly, because, I mean, if you have really hormonal or just really hyper-reactive hair that just all over the place like mine does and like yours does, it's really good to just kind of make sure, you know, you tame it a little bit. It also makes it easier to tuck it under a wig cap when it's not all...
And AW says, but I can blend into Anya with hairspray without flat iron.
Oh, yay! I think that's probably because all of the wigs I've been making for the Wigs Forever line are big head friendly, so they're a little roomy under the cap on purpose. So good. That's good to know. If, for example, you have a small head, you might have to take some measures to kind of make sure that you adjust the sizing of the wig. And Kathleen, by the way, as I've mentioned previously, made a wonderful tutorial about that for our website. So definitely check that out if you have an opportunity, because she has a petite average head and she's able to really beautifully customize our wigs pretty easily. And she actually made like a step-by-step document about how she does it. And the other good thing about our wigs is that they're a little less expensive than some of the other wigs that we carry. So you don't have to really fret quite as much and freak out about the prospect of altering your wigs to make them your own. It's kind of the beauty of buying things at a more compassionate price point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how's the back of this look? Does it look pretty?
Could do with a bit more flattening.
All right,
back here.
can you help me?
I'll try.
Oh, this is so cute.
You do some.
Oh yeah,
now.
I will. Did you kind of see what I was doing?
Yeah.
Okay, just don't touch my scalp with that thing, because ouch.
Yeah.
So let's see. We're gonna talk about some more frizzy things. Oh, someone said, "Hi, cool cats and kittens." Oh God, I don't know. I kind of think Sarah. What's her name? Cheryl Baskins. Is that her name?
Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins. She probably did that, just saying. But I do like that she says that. It's cute. Kathleen says she called her hair the fro. I definitely feel like mine is edging in that direction. It's a little slim, good body. Richard Simmons. You can tell I'm a child of the 80s when I make these references.
Okay, that's a little better.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, it feels better too. Pegwitch says, I was watching an older video of you two when Nigel mentioned the movie Paul.
Yes.
Oh, yes, he loves that movie.
That is a great film.
I'm gonna split the screen with you again, honey.
Yeah, I'm not normally a huge fan of Seth Rogen type stuff, but that is just a great film. Let's see. Jackie says that's true about chemo. Yes. My husband's straight hair came in curly, and Kathleen says the same thing. My mom's hair after chemo and radiation, she had slick straight, not anymore, curly.
I've heard that that's really normal after chemotherapy. Just shows you how powerful those medications are.
Yeah. Liz says she's very looking forward to Black Magic, which will match her hair perfectly.
And I'm actually coming out with, I'm trying to intentionally name the colors in a way so that people of color, when they stumble upon the website, they're like, oh, she's thinking of us too. So it's kind of like shameless pandering, but purposeful. So I'm also developing a color called Black Excellence, which is literally just a straight up number 1. I wanted there to be a really, really dark black color for anybody who wants that effect, whether you're trying to go full on Morticia Addams or that is literally your natural hair color. Heck, or if you're a dude and you want to go Elvis, that number 1's really going to come in handy. And Black Magic is kind of, like I said, a number 2. I'm probably personally more like between a 2 and a 4. And Nigel, for the record, is closer to like a 630 combo. He's got a little bit of auburn in his hair. All right, I'm going to take over again, honey.
All right.
If you hide that for just a moment. Go ahead and hide that slide, honey.
Okay, sorry, 1 second.
It's okay, no worries.
Go there.
All right, boom. It's hard not to like play with it and like make sound effects because it's just so goofy looking. Boop, boop, boop. So I don't really want to do much with this up here. I don't want it to be silky. I don't actually want to get rid of most of the frizz even. I just want it to lay flat enough that the topper can stay on top of it. So that's why I wanted to talk about this section a little bit differently, because I'm not going to hit all of it on top with the flat iron. And I'm also not going to actually hit all the way down to the base. I'm just going to hit the tips and kind of swoosh. Oh, my hair is so fine. It looks so fluffy. And then I go to actually do this, and it's like, oh, I'm just grabbing tiny, tiny little bits of it. And this is something I've been dealing with since I was literally a teenager. So it's if you're like wondering why I don't freak out over how thin it is, it's not just because I own a wig store. It's because of the fact that it's been over a very, very, very long period of time. So if nothing else, if your alopecia is new to you, hopefully it gives you the impression that eventually the grieving stops and you just kind of learn to deal with it, and then you kind of play around with it and have fun, and sometimes it is just genuinely funny. I think it's funny. I don't necessarily think it's funny when other people are experiencing hair loss, because it depends on how they're handling it. If someone's grieving, I'm not going to be like, because then it's real. The grief is real. But for me, it's like, this is old news. It gets worse every year. Whatever. It was already bad to begin with. I mean, look at this. The magic of it. It's like a geyser. It resembles the light in the corner. So good stuff. Good times.
All the comments leapt down to the bottom again, but once sprung out. Serena's here. Hi, Serena.
Hello, Mermaid Queen. All right. I think we're pretty good here with this. I might actually use a little hairspray to try to.
While you're doing that, I'm going to address a question.
Okay.
Jackie says, Heather, may I ask why you're growing your hair out?
So I can demonstrate toppers. So literally what I'm doing today is the reason why I am growing my hair out. It's been a heck of a commitment. I haven't cut my hair for most of the year. Let's save the shaking for a little bit, honey. But here we go. All right, cool. I'm growing my hair out specifically because I not only want to be able to demonstrate the toppers, but because I want to try them on and wear them around. So that way, as I'm developing these products, I can, modify them for comfort and wearability. So, it's like gonzo journalism, except with me being the gonzo topper creator. I'm having problems getting this out. Can you do something with that? And I can't get it to come out. I might just use...
Hand me a tissue there.
I've got this John Renault holding spray. I might just use this, but okay, let's do this. Even though this stuff takes a lot longer to dry and it isn't as crunchy. I kind of want a nice crunchy hold here.
Try that.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Let's see what that does.
All right, so this is regular hairspray. It is not for wigs because I'm putting it on my actual hair. All right, that's coming out a little bit. We gotta maybe put this in some hot water or something because it's... Remember when my old Aquanet thingies used to do the exact same thing? Maybe we should put a pin in it or something. I don't know. You guys have any good tricks for ungunking a hairspray thingy? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm actually slicking this down with hairspray because not only will the hairspray help it lay flatter, but it will also make it crunchy. And when it's crunchy, it's the clips stick into it a little bit better and it stays in place a little bit better. Oh man. All right, here we go. Oh, so now I'm just gonna shellac that down and hold it with my hands while it dries. Nigel, you want to take some more comments? I swear this is almost done because the next step is just putting on the topper and combing it out.
All right, well, let's get to today's drink of the week. You already heard me doing the shaky thing earlier. Because we gained some weight over our little summer holiday, we decided to behave ourselves this week, and instead of something alcoholic, we're doing plant protein shakes. I'll show you the package in a minute, but I'm doing what is it? I'm doing the maple banana French toast, and Heather's doing the peanut butter jelly with
peanut butter jelly time.
Yes. So here's the thing. There's done by the Ambrosia Collective. It's called Planta Plant Protein Shake Powder. This is the peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly.
20 grams of protein per serving.
Peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. And this is the banana maple French toast flavor.
Both of them are very, very good.
They are very good. Heather went on a spree and tried buying a whole bunch of different... Oh, they're not paying us to do this, by the way.
No, yeah, no.
Went out and bought a whole bunch of protein supplements, just to try new protein shakes. And those were the two of the best ones that she found. So that's what we're doing. We're being good. We're not having alcohol. We're having protein shakes.
Like fit people do, I think.
I'm doing my fitness.
Am I fit now? We drank the things. Is that how that works?
I think so.
Yay!
Yeah.
We'll probably mention that one more time. Spoiler alert, because I made a slide for it.
Yeah, it's very good stuff.
It's good, and good. All right, so time to stick this thing on because this is more or less dry. And again, part of that's because I used mainly the Sheriff by Dry Bar instead of using the John Renault stuff because that stuff the John Renault stuff is a synthetic spray. It's denser The mist is also denser, and so it deposits a lot more heavily, and it takes a lot longer to dry, whereas the normal hairspray dries pretty quickly. And you can see I tried to cut most of the tag out. That's because I don't want to go on the other side of the topper. So sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to put these things in place, and you might have to move it around a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you what it looks like at first. Okay, honey, stop making so much noise. I know, he's like shaky, shaky, bottle crinkle. All right, I'm trying to position the front of this. You can see the lace front is quite thick. Feel free to pluck that if you like, or integrate it with your own hairline. But it does potentially provide you with a hairline if you want one. Because this is a little bit darker than my actual hair color, I'm probably just going to let the topper give me a hairline. So once you determine that, it helps you figure out where to place it. So I'm just going to clip it in a little bit first. We have more information about, Nigel, we have more information about these things in a literal slide that I literally made. So just hold on, and I will happily share that with everybody. So here we go. That way he doesn't have to do everything twice. We work smart. At least I'd like to think so. So just trying to get this in place. And you know the drill. When you put in the clips of a topper, you want to go like that. You got to think of it that way. You want to go out, then in and up. You know, and then you do the opposite when you take them off. You go like that. And by that, I mean the toppers are, the clips rather, the combs are facing inward. And so you really want to work with the clips, not against them. And you'll know the difference right away because it'll pull your hair and it will be painful. So this may be lopsided. Let me take a look. No, I think it's pretty good so far. All right, I'm going to go ahead and integrate it in with my hair, which just in this case requires me to comb it with this wide tooth comb a little bit. And I didn't use any glue, but you're more than welcome to try to, you can use a little bit of glue, you can use some tape if you like on the front hairline. There we go. And then you want to get the topper in a way where it's tight, but it isn't pulling your hair. But it also doesn't move around a lot. You don't want to be able to move it independent of the rest of the hair on your scalp, really. Okay, I'm going to comb this side out. You want to get some more comments, honey, while I finish this up?
Sure.
All right.
Cheryl says, what about wearing it in the wind?
Toppers wear beautifully in the wind because they're literally shellacked and clipped onto your head. So they work really great for that.
Kathleen says, oh, this topper is so cute. And Terry says, I'm thinking I want to try a topper.
Toppers give you a lot of versatility. If you have enough hair and you buy a topper that is appropriate for the level of hair loss you have. But you can see I have kind of profound hair loss and I'm still able to pull this off. It just requires you to be a little bit meticulous in the application and also in the prep. And you can see that wasn't really very time consuming. I just used some hairspray and a flat iron. Speaking of which, can you do me a favor and turn that puppy off? Because I think I'm basically done with it.
Off.
And I'm not going to play with the part much because I want you to be able to see it. You can see that there is definitely a little bit of a seam, just like there would be with the wig, with this kind of cap construction. There's a little bit of a seam between the front hairline lace and the monofilament portion of the top. And I'm just going to play with this a little bit. But yeah, really, really, really cute. You can see that this front area of the topper is just that really pretty #1 black color. And you can see that even if the topper rises up, it matches my front so well that it just kind of looks okay, which is another reason why I don't bother gluing them down if the color match is close enough. You know, because all the hair is going like that backwards because I shellacked it down with hairspray. So it just kind of blends in. So I'm going to turn around. You can definitely see that the topper is longer and a different texture than my hair, but the topper's got such good coverage that you might not really be able to tell. Can you even tell in the back that my bio hair is significantly different than this, Nigel?
Not particularly, no.
Awesome. So, all right. Demonstration achieved. All right. Good stuff.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
No, Tina says I sent you all my after 5 recipe for iced tea via the Sister Week's customer service email.
Oh,
earlier
yay!
today. Thank you.
Awesome.
Excellent.
We'll have to check in with Enrique about that.
Oh yes, definitely. Enrique.
Mm,
Good stuff.
I like these shakes. They're good.
They are good.
All right.
Send us free stuff.
Planta, send us things.
Yes.
We like you. You send us stuff. All right.
By the way, I've been getting several compliments on my T-shirt.
What's it say? Oh, it's your Mos-Eisley Cantina one.
Yeah.
He has a whole bunch of really fun T-shirts. All right. So again, this particular topper is Lydia, and it comes curly, but you can straighten her with a flat iron if you want. And yeah, hopefully you will be able to see her at the beginning of November of this year. So she's coming very soon. And in fact, we have samples in every single color that I can demo potentially as the launch date gets a little closer. So stay tuned. So today's theme is, again, what we did on summer vacation. I went a little clip art crazy for this particular presentation. And because it felt like the kind of cheesy presentation that kids give when they come back from summer vacay, I was like, we should just run with the chalkboard. So here's a little thing about why we ended up going to Ohio instead of setting up the new studio.
Oh boy. You
know what they say about assumptions? The new studio and warehouse. Okay, so just so you know, we're in the process of still moving from a small warehouse in the complex we're in to a bigger one. It's like roughly double the size, and it's literally just right next door. It is right next door to the one that we are currently using or have been using for the past several years at this point. And we had assumed that because the one we were using was fiber ready, that the new one would be too. The emoji says it all. So we need to figure out what to do about this before we do any more work on it. So we realized really early on, after several heated conversations with the cable company, that we had now time on our hands that we could not do really anything productive with. So we were like, what do unproductive people do with their time? They go on vacation. So as Nigel said, tonight's drink is very healthy because on vacation we ate and drank everything that wasn't bolted down.
Yes.
Some examples of the things we ate, and I remember fondly the fact that I had pizza, actual pizza, that I was able to eat, though I didn't finish a whole slice. But it was the first time I had real pizza and not like diet pizza.
Is this Krause's?
No, this was just a regular Pizza Hut pizza. This was the first time I'd had one since before my sleeve in 2017. Also had my first corn dog since before 2017, and it was a good one. It was one at Cedar Point where they like batter dipped it in front of us, and I mean it took like it seemed like it took 20 minutes to make a single corn dog.
Yeah, because they kept like exploding.
Yeah, because they were hand making them for order, but it was delicious. It was just like this sodium crunchy corn bomb of greasy love. It was so good. But again, it was one of those things where I had to give him like half of it because that's just a lot of starch and it just fills me up really quickly, but worth it. Also at Cedar Point had a beignet.
Oh yeah.
Delightful.
We had beignet.
Yeah. Not as good as the one I had at the Cafe Du Monde way back when I went to Nollins, but pretty good. I also had Nutella for the first time since 2017. We had quite a lot of tater chips, alcohol, smoked brisket, desserts, fried stuff, creamy sauces, fast food, fair food, things I typically never, ever, ever, ever eat. And so because we're middle-aged, it felt like that.
Well, cumulatively, yes. When we got back, we did feel a little.
What are you talking about? The next day, man, it was like going.
Well, that's you.
I seriously felt like I had like carb hangover, you know, and it was worth. I mean, it was worth it for the experience, but it's one that I was kind of. It's one of those things where it's like I was very glad to go back to the diet.
Well,
afterwards.
look, if you're talking about Cedar Point, then yes. But for the rest of the trip, I was more or less okay because I've spent a lifetime building up an immunity to both iocane powder and carbs.
Lucky you. I still think this thing looks lopsided. Did I put it on lopsided or?
I don't think so. No.
All right, cool. It might just be a little curlier on one side than the other. All right.
Possibly.
I'm being paranoid. Okay, so back to slides.
Yeah.
So tonight's drink, as Nigel mentioned, is healthy because we must atone for our dietary sins. And so this is, again, what we are drinking. We're drinking Ambrosia Planta vegan protein shakes. Now, not all of their flavors are good. As Nigel mentioned, I went on kind of an odyssey.
Yeah.
And part of it was because I realized that I was having some digestive issues, and I highly suspected it was all the dairy that I was eating that might have been causing some of the problems. I mean, that was what a GI doctor told me to cut out immediately. He was like, you need to stop. The problem with that, though, when you're reliant on protein shakes, like people post gastric sleeve tend to be, because I mean, I drink at least one or two of these every day. I mean, almost all of your options are whey protein. They're either whey protein or whey protein isolate. And I was having a reaction to an isolate. And I was like, GI doctor, do you mean that for real? Because I thought that the isolate was supposed to be okay. And he was like, yeah, it's still dairy based. It's still got those things in it. So it took me about 2 months and way too much money of going through all of these protein powders to try to find a vegan one that I could live with, or at least a non-dairy one, which they're all vegan for the most part, the ones that are non-dairy. And vegan protein powders tend to be terrible. They tend to taste really, really bad. They tend to not dissolve very well. And they're all pea protein based, which I don't know if you're familiar with pea protein powder, but it tastes like peas, which is fine when you're eating peas, but might not be what you're looking for when you're trying to like drink something that's supposedly chocolate flavored or something like that, like peas and chocolate. Ugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it masks it, but not always very well.
Yeah, no.
But that's why I eat my peas with honey. I've done so all my life. It makes the peas taste funny, but it keeps them on the knife.
Where did you hear that?
It's a poem. I can't remember who, because when I try to remember names, my brain goes into shutdown.
Again, I think that's a middle-aged person thing. Because I have a similar issue. I'm like, that person literally just told me their name 5 minutes ago, and I'm really keenly interested in remembering it, and it's gone.
Yeah. And yes, Liz, these powders are, I believe, yeast-free.
Yes, they're completely vegan. Yeah, I don't think they have yeast in them because I'm actually really sensitive to yeast. So
yeah, no yeast in that one.
No yeast.
No yeast in that one.
Yeah. So yeah, they're straight up vegan, designed for vegans. We're mixing it with coconut milk, and it's lovely.
Ogden Nash, thank you, Liz.
We can count on our audience, of course, because they're made of Smarties.
Yeah.
Thank you. But yeah, so this flavor is the peanut butter and jelly, which is great.
It's actually got bits of freeze-dried strawberry in it.
Strawberry in it. But like I was saying, some of the flavors are awful. Like, don't do the cupcake sprinkle or sprinkle cupcake or whatever it is.
Was it birthday cake again?
It was supposedly birthday cake flavored, but it just tasted like sweet peas. The peanut butter cup one, the chocolate peanut butter. Stick to the ones that are fruit flavored. That's the one I noticed. The ones that are just strictly fruit flavored from this line taste great. And in fact, I just ordered the blueberry scone one, and I'm really excited about it because I hope it's got little bits in it like this one does.
Michaela says Vimeo says chat is disabled. Oh well.
Oh man! But thank you for letting us know, because
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
I was kind of like in a mad scramble to get all of this set up today, so I will have to investigate that before the next one. What's up, honey?
AW says, I made protein drinks with integral collagen peptide powder since I can't have any legumes. Some of your sweetener has some of that.
Yeah, we have some of that whole earth stuff that's got collagen in it.
Oh
man.
dear, used to be vegan, found out she has G6PD, can't have soybeans, peas, peanuts, no more vegan for me.
That would be the
Dang.
worst thing ever for your diet if you were vegan, because literally all of your protein sources are gonna be soy,
everything.
or they're gonna be pea based, oh man, or nut based. So man, yeah, I feel you on that, because sometimes you want to do things and then your body just won't let you get away with it. Like I used to be vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for 12 years. I mean, lacto, ovo, lacto, potato. But I mean, I had dairy and eggs in that diet, and I had to stop because my body's just really sensitive to carbohydrates. And when you have to flip-flop your entire dietary regimen to focus on protein, it becomes almost impossible to do when it's vegan and or vegetarian, and you have to cut out all of the carbohydrates that come along with those protein sources. It becomes kind of a magic trick / juggling act. And I couldn't maintain it. So ended up starting the meat again, but we still try to eat vegetarian stuff throughout the week. Like I'm a big fan of tofu still and stuff like that. So I mean, I try
Well, you
to
make it very well.
I like tofu. That's
I mean,
why.
I've had tofu before and it was revolting, but Heather knows how to make it well.
And like when people are like, it's so expensive to be vegetarian, clearly they've not tried it, because tofu is one of the cheapest protein sources you could possibly get. It's like less than $2 for two big servings in a single container. It's fantastic. But you gotta marinate it though.
Michaela says I had to go soy-free, dairy-free when nursing one of my kids, and that's
I bet.
Everything in the universe seems to have soy. I seriously feel for those who have to be especially careful with diet. It's the same with me. I'm mildly allergic to dairy. I'm mildly allergic to nuts. They're not going to kill me. So if you're planning on assassinating me that way, it won't work.
or try that. Give him lots and lots of delicious food.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't actually want people to assassinate you, honey.
No.
Don't tell them what won't work.
But anyway, point is, I mean, you try and go out and find some for your dietary restrictions. Like I go out and everything everywhere has cheese and or butter and or nuts in it. It's absolutely
or nut butter in it.
Or nut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go back to thingy then. I gotta put the thingy on the screen. Here we go. So, oh, you gotta share something that made you laugh now.
Now I have to return the iocane powder and peanuts to the Costco and without a receipt.
Yes. So, but he said earlier about the iocane powder. Nice callback. Who said that?
That was Serena.
Good callback, Serena, because he just mentioned that, he developed a tolerance to that. So love it. So just so you know, back to the story already in progress, we decided to use our time off to see the friends and family in Ohio, whom we hadn't seen since 2019. As you probably are aware, I was originally from Northeast Ohio, and Nigel basically grew up there before he went back to England. So that's how we ended up in Ohio for about a week. But this will be kind of short, this part of the presentation at least, and that's because I didn't take that many pictures, which is something I'm going to talk about as well here. I am genuinely, laughably bad at doing my duty and taking pictures of every single part of my life. Like my mom, she's one of those folks, and she sets this example where, like, we know anywhere my mom goes with us, she's taking the camera. And it's not just like her cell phone camera, it's this gigantic DSLR monstrosity.
Oh yeah. And she gets into, come on, I gotta take the picture now.
Oh
She does like this wide angle stance to get down, and it's a big production. Everyone just goes, oh, just hurry up.
It's so adorable though. I mean, it's adorable after the fact. In the moment, it's kind of almost borderline enraging, because like it's one of those things where to get the picture she's looking for, it will take her like an eternity, it seems like. And you have to sit there going, is it done now?
Yeah.
Are we done now?
I want to eat.
Oh yeah, she always wants to do it right before we're supposed to eat stuff, which is fun too.
Don't get between me and food, or you'll be trampled and or possibly gored.
Yes, but I unfortunately did not inherit that trait from my mom. I'm one of those folks where I just kind of go, oh, I forgot to take pictures of that. Well, okay, cool. So in general, I don't really think to take any, and neither did Nigel. I think the issue is that the expectation is generally, though, that women take pictures of everything, and it's doubly the case if you're like me and your job is like social media related and you take a lot of pictures as your job. But I think that's the issue. Taking pictures is work to me. So the motivation to do it just isn't really there. And I love this clip art thingy. I have no idea what this is supposed to be used for, but I'm glad it exists. So I guess we'd both rather do stuff than document it. So we don't really have a whole lot of pictures to show, but I will show them all to you. So on day one of our trip, we were hanging out with his friends, the Nortons. And the only picture, I didn't take a picture of us together with his friends because I am a turkey that didn't think of it, as I mentioned earlier. So the only picture I took was when they recommended this scotch to us. I took a picture of it because he was so passionate about recommending it to us, but we didn't actually try any because we had just arrived in town. I just drove 10 and a half hours to get to Ohio, and I was too beat to enjoy any kind of alcohol. I just kind of wanted a water and to go to bed. So that is apparently very good scotch.
Yeah.
You want to talk at all about visiting the Nortons for
the
next slide?
Well, well, Dr. Norton was my geology professor at Kent State, and I didn't do spectacularly well in geology class, but we did bond over talking about fossils and paleontology, and I got him into collecting Jurassic Park toys because at the time the dinosaurs they made were some of the most scientifically accurate dinosaur toys you could get. They even did the teeth right on the Lycaenops. So yeah, it's just been over the years. We've talked a lot, and they helped buy out a lot of bookshelves when we were moving from the USA to the UK. And
so those bookshelves used to be yours?
About half of those bookshelves were ours.
Wow.
Yeah, they bought about half our stock.
That's cool.
Well, they bought most of our stock, which is like half of their bookshelves. Yeah, and so yeah, we've known them for ages, and we just have great conversations. There's very little in the way of political headbanging or anything. We just have great conversations for hours and hours and hours and hours. It's always fascinating. And they offered to put us up in their nice Victorian house. If we're ever up there. So this time around, we took them up on the offer. And yeah, so they've got a lodger named Merle and his very, very friendly pitty, Max.
Yes.
Max likes to lick, which was kind of disconcerting to me.
He was not raised with dogs.
I have boundaries, you see.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
See, for me, it's like I was raised with dogs. I'm like, yeah, dogs do that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so we spent the night with them, and they made us some very, very good home cooking. And I got some mead, some lovely flavors of mead. There was a peach one, and then I'm trying to remember what the second one was. I think it was a berry flavor of mead on the second occasion. But yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, apparently there's like kind of a food renaissance going on in Ohio right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Like they have a meadery right down the street from their house.
Oh yeah. Their neighbors just down the road own a meadery. And the funny thing is the second night we went, because we stopped off with the Nortons. The first night we got up there just because we'd been driving for like 11 hours and we needed to rest, so spent the night there. And then on the way back down, we stopped off with them again before the big trek, and we bought an elderberry pie.
Yeah.
From
we did.
From Yoder's. And nothing like a properly made Amish type pie. Oh, fantastic!
It was pretty much.
It went down very well
Yeah,
with everyone.
It was one of the best pies I've ever put in my mouth. It was so freaking good.
And yes, Tina, he drooled on me.
It's a dog.
So
it's
did
what
Shadow.
they do.
Come to think of it, more on that later. But yeah, so that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah,
lots of good chatting.
I'm repositioning the topper because I wanted to make sure that it was even. I was playing around with the part, and I still thought it was kind of lopsided. So here we go. We also spent a couple days.
That's not showing up.
Oh. Now it is. Yay! All right. We spent a couple days in the extreme northern part of Ohio, up near Sandusky and Kelly's Island.
Kelly's Island was fun.
Yes, we had a very, very good time. My best friend Holly came up and joined us for that, and I've got just a few pictures from that. So there's one picture. And you can kind of see the Maples is adorable, by the way. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that too, because I'm a big fan of that place. But it's very, very kitschy. So I wanted to show you my TripAdvisor review from them really quick. So let me see if I can share the thingy. Give me just a sec. Share the screen. What am I gonna share? I'm gonna share this thing on TripAdvisor. Okay, is it sharing?
Yeah.
All right. I've only ever left 2 TripAdvisor reviews in recent years. I left one a really long time ago, so I actually left 3, but one of them disappeared. So the first review I left was clear back in 2016 when we went to
the hotel
London,
in London, yeah.
And Hussein made us fantastic mojitos.
Hussein made amazing mojitos.
Yes.
Well done, Hussein.
And so this is my review of the Maples. This is actually the picture of the table we had breakfast at. And this is Steve, the owner of the Maples, with his fluffy, fluffy, fluffy cat, Owl. I am obsessed with Owl the cat. The first thing Steve asked us when we checked in was, should I make t-shirts that have Owl on them? I'm like, yes, you should, all day long, because here's me with Owl as well. Look at him. Oh, he's so fluffy. What you can't see is that he is purring. Like, he looks like he's disgruntled, but that's because he is a cat. He was actually purring like a motorboat. He was so happy. And then when I put him down, he just kept rubbing up against my legs and stuff. Just a gentle, furry, sweet little guy. And so I had to leave another review because I'd left one back in 2010 when I originally stayed there, and it disappeared. So I basically just told everybody the ins and outs. So if you ever look at the thing for the Maples Motel, quit that TripAdvisor, quit being helpful. You can see my review of that. But basically, I just really, really like this place. It is a really authentic, as in almost all the fixtures and signs and the pool and everything are original. So it's basically authentic mid 20th century Americana. It's just really phenomenal.
Oh yeah, the guy who's running it now, his mother used to run it.
Yeah.
And he's got her original Nash Rambler station wagon out in the car park.
Yes, and I mean he's taken very good care of the grounds. You can tell it's a labor of love. And it's just really cool to see somebody care that much about preserving the family legacy. The only downside with the Maples is that, and it's for real, they have a train that is right outside the motel. The motel itself predates that particular train line, so or at least that stop on the train line, and so it does make noise. For sure. But if you're the kind of person where, you're not afraid of using noise canceling headphones or something like that, it's really not that big a deal. We were both able to sleep right through it.
Oh, AW says, I'm so sad to be leaving Georgia. We are an active duty Army, and we will be permanently change of station in New York near Canada in 2 weeks. Negative temps in the winter.
Oh.
We'll be there for 4 years.
Oh, compared to Georgia, yeah, that's
cool. Have you ever experienced lake effect snow there or at all? Because that is
That's the thing we warn everybody about is the
That
lake effect snow.
Always warn people about lake effect snow. I'm not sure how things have been in the last few years because I haven't been to Ohio in the winter since 2000 actually, but lake effect snow can dump an entire meter of snow overnight if you're not careful sometimes.
Sorry, I feel more comfortable with the side part, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
finagle that. There we go. Yay, side part achieved. Okay.
She says, I'm from Pittsburgh, so no stranger to harsh winters, but this will be crazy cold. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Oy, I do not envy you. You get kind of spoiled being down south with how nice and warm it is in the winter. Though we've had a couple cold flashes, just not like recently.
Yeah.
All right, so I gotta share my screen again, and I'm gonna do that. Let's see here. So share screen. I can do this. And
Your eyes look very Bryce Dallas Howard
oh,
with that makeup.
yay! She's really pretty.
Yeah.
So I showed you the fluffy cat pics, and yes, as I mentioned, my best friend came up to join us. And by the way, if you're wondering why I keep adjusting the front of this topper, it's because I don't have a ton of hair in the front for my topper to clip in. So I have profound hair loss. So sometimes you just got to keep playing with it until it's that combination of comfortable and secure. So she came up, and I only have one picture, and this is it. And this was us unwinding after the trip to Kelly's Island. Nigel just showered, so his hair's wet. But I took the picture just because I wanted to show him that he's got such a nice back. Like, it's really muscular and manful. But I didn't even know that was a word until he told me it was one. So it's kind of an inside joke that only I find is amusing, but I do.
No, I find it amusing as well.
Okay, good.
Talk about striding manfully.
Manfully.
Doing anything manfully, but yeah, it was fantastic because she'd never heard the word before, and I used it in jest, and she said, "Is that a word?" I said, "Yes." And then this was actually 2 years ago, the last time we were visiting Ohio, and her mother lent me her copy of The Shining.
Oh yeah.
To read, and lo and behold, right there is talking about striding manfully. So I said, "Hey Heather, look, boom, it's a word."
Stephen King's pretty like that though, because you were telling me like we would have a conversation about something, and then that night he would be reading part of The Shining or something like that, and Stephen King would use that exact same language or talk about that exact same topic. And I'm like, next thing we know, we're going to end up in a Stephen King novel and be really upset about it.
Yeah, I honestly think Stephen King is like a mind reader or something, or maybe someone I knew from the future going back and writing stories based around the stuff I do. I honestly sometimes get the feeling that some sci-fi writers have come back in time. Like there was a story written in either the late 1890s or perhaps 1902, something like that, about the world's largest passenger ship called the Titan, which was touted as being unsinkable, and it was going to break a new record. And everyone was saying how wonderful it was, how luxurious it was, and even God could not sink it. And then they hit an iceberg and sank. And
that was before the
10 to 14 years later.
Oh my God. Time traveler.
There's got to be some time traveling going on of people trying to warn us.
Yeah, wizard time traveler. That has to be what that was. So, yes. Let's see. So as you can see, the whole thing was really cramped. It was wholesome. Holly had her own cot and everything. You can kind of see the cot, but you kind of see there's no room for the cot, that it's kind of just like wedged into the area right in front of the air conditioner. But that's okay. It's like a little vintage roadside motel from the middle of the 20th century. So they were almost all like that back then. So day 2, we went to Kelly's Island. And you can kind of see some of my favorite things that we did there. One was we went to the Kelly's Island Cantina, and Nigel can tell you about that in just a second.
Yeah.
And then the other part was my favorite, the vroom, vroom, vrooms. I love driving the stupid little golf carts all over the island. Vroom, 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 vroom. I mean, there are dogs walking by us faster than the cart is going.
Yeah.
But yet, there's just something so cute and fun about driving one of those on the street and then like I don't know. I just get a kick out of it. It's like I'm driving a go-kart as your car. It's fun, except a really slow go-kart. I still can't explain why.
Well, it wasn't
like it.
terribly fast. It wasn't. Yeah, but yeah, we could be passed by people who are in fast walking, or a dog who wanted to run.
Yeah,
but,
when you rent the golf carts instead of provide your own, they're kind of handicapped. They can't go above, I think, like 10 miles per hour or something like that. And again, there are people who can run faster than that.
Yeah.
So fun.
But it's fun.
Yeah, but you want to tell them about the drinks?
The Kelly's Island Cantina?
Oh,
Yeah, well,
yes.
okay, well, last time we were there, it was in 2019 when we went up, and we were puttering along in a golf cart and came across the Kelly's Island Brewery, which had a brew pub attached to it, and they had amazing food, and they had flights of amazing beer that you could try, and all kinds of different marvelous beers. And there was a restaurant further, an open air restaurant further down the road that had sold more beers and more food. And unfortunately, the open air restaurant was closed, and the Kelly's Island Brewery closed on July 4th of this year. So we couldn't go in there. But the one place we remembered from last time that we did enjoy was the Kelly's Island Cantina. And they do like Tex-Mex food and snacks and bar snacks and stuff like that. And they make margaritas for you.
Very good margaritas.
Hand mixed. No pre-packaged ingredients or everything. It's just all straight up liquor bottles, actual lime juice, no sour mix, no nothing. Just every ingredient, you can recognize it and pronounce it and know what it is.
Yeah.
And they're about $18 a pop.
Yeah, and they're huge.
But they're big.
They're big and they're fresh.
And they don't skimp on the alcohol.
Oh, and like he said, they'll juice those limes right in front of you. They don't cheat and use sour mix. Oh, God, it's so good. It's so good.
Shauna asks, where's Kelly's Island? Well, if you go to Sandusky, they have
Northern Ohio.
There's a ferry you can take across to Kelly's Island, and put in bay and all that sort of thing. And you just ride a little ferry across for about 15-minute ride or something like that. And on the slow ferry and on the fast ferry, it goes really quick. And it's just a lovely little island, just out in Lake Erie. One of the interesting features about it are the glacial grooves.
Yeah.
Because when the glaciers came down from the Ice Age, they ground the top of the island off, and you can see this big, long gouge carved in a section of rock. And that's one of the biggest tourist things in there.
It's not a super busy island though.
No,
because it's small. Most people, when they go visit the islands on Lake Erie, because it's in the middle of Lake Erie, like it's literally, I think, 16 miles from Canada. I think it's something like that. It's very close to Canada. It's
Holly's cell phone kept saying it was picking up Canadian service.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You'll go into roaming real fast.
Yeah.
The main attraction, the main island that people go to up there is I believe Put-in Bay, which is a bigger island. It's got a lot of bars. It's got a lot of tourist stuff. It's got a state park. Whereas Kelly's Island is much smaller. And I like it better because it is, I mean, while it is still a touristy area, it's a little bit more low key. Yeah. It isn't as family friendly, and that's important to note. Put-in Bay has a lot of stuff families can do, whereas Kelly's Island does not.
Yeah.
It's more residential and bar hopping, which is pretty much our speed.
Yeah. The other thing about the cantina is because the school year had started.
Because there are people that live there all year round.
A lot of the people who worked in the kitchens had to go back to teaching or whatever. So there was no food at the cantina this time around. But there was a winery right next door that had a restaurant attached.
And the food was very good.
The food was bloody excellent. And the thing is, there are I think about 3 or 4 different wineries on Kelly's Island. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again: avoid the Catawba Pink.
You say that every time.
I say that every time because it was disgusting.
Okay. All right. Well noted. All right. So we're going back to the slides. Oh, by the way, drink responsibly, everyone. So I did take a bunch of pictures of the wig I wore on Kelly's Island. I wore the Bryce prototype in Amber Honey Drip as we explored before we went on vacation during the last live stream. That is my hypothetical Bond girl name. So that is Bryce out in the wild, outdoors, in natural light, in that color. You can see I've got part of her kind of pinned back because I wanted to show off the lace front. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's me and my hubby. And I think that's actually the Rambler. That is the Rambler.
Yeah, that's the Rambler in the background.
Yeah,
someone was saying they had a Rambler as their first car.
Yeah, and I didn't feel compelled to blur out the license plate because
it's no longer on the road and it's a public.
It's the owner's car, so if you look it up, you'll find out where the address of the hotel is, and you might stay there. So
yeah, it's quite nice.
Day 3, we went to Cedar Point, America's roller coaster.
Cheryl had the Rambler.
I love roller coasters.
I am less fond of roller coasters.
I give him a lot of credit because he goes on them, but I can tell that it's kind of a miserable experience for him, like 90% of the time, because he tightens up. Right. And if you've ever been like into roller coasters or thrill rides, you will know what I'm about to tell you is true. The last thing you ever want to do on a roller coaster is tighten up because you will get beat up to hell and back. You need to go loose and limp like a doodle. I kept trying to tell.
Yet you're the one that got bruised.
I know, but I'll tell them why in a second. I tell everybody, the game plan when you go on a thrill ride is you kind of need to act like the wacky inflatable. What do they say on Family Guy?
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man or something like that.
Loosey goosey, because you just kind of want to move with the G-forces. You don't want to fight against them because they will win. So that's why it is pretty much the height of irony that I got bruised and no one else did, and it's because, as I've mentioned previously, and I'm tactfully hiding at the moment.
Your mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
So nice to see you two. Love you both. She's on Facebook.
So if you're watching, you'll get to see the slides where we talk about your contribution to our trip and stuff too.
Yeah, so that's your mom there, the Facebook user. Stay
tuned, Mom. But yeah, I have a lot of extra skin, as I've mentioned previously, and when you go woo on every ride, I didn't hit anything. I didn't bang up against anything. My skin just basically, well, let's just say my arm was here, but the skin was back there, and it kept flapping around, and it got really bruised. I don't even know if my sleeve is loose enough. It might be loose enough that I can pull it up, but I'm still bruised.
Yeah.
I'm still bruised. And
that's just from riding roller coasters.
That's just from riding roller coasters and going, woo! Who knew? So if you have loose skin, keep that in mind. You might want to wear like compression sleeves or something. I'm actually thinking about that next time. Getting like a little jacket or something with some compression sleeves. So that way I don't do that to myself.
Yeah.
And then someday just get the skin lopped off because that is the goal.
I forget which one it was. It was the Millennium Force or the Magnum or something like that. I was riding.
The Magnum was one that you didn't like.
I didn't like a number of them, but no. What happened was some of the roller coasters have hills that come down and up and over like that, so you actually get bucked out of the seat, so you're just being held on.
Yeah, the Magnum definitely does that.
So that's
a lot.
the Magnum. Yeah. I actually banged my knee horribly on that one, so I thought, you know what, I'm not riding this one again.
Well, I think there are reasons why you don't see more middle-aged and older people on those rides, and I think we have discovered what those reasons are. But I'm not gonna stop.
Anna says, will a wig stay on in a roller coaster ride?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't try that. No way, because you'll ruin your wig. Like I wouldn't even be worried about the wig staying on. I'd be worried about the condition it would be in after the ride. Because you see people's actual hair after those rides. It's their hair is a mess.
Oh, we saw a wig fly off at one point.
We did actually.
Someone. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because we actually saw someone's wig fly off.
Yeah, I didn't wear wigs.
It was a wig.
I didn't wear wigs on the thing. Now you could probably get away with wearing a topper. right? Because they're clipped in. And I mean, I'm sure if you clipped and glued the wig within an inch of its life to your head, it would stay in place. But I wouldn't try it. I just went au natural because I don't care. I cheat. I went without anything on, and then I put on a John Reno softie in between rides, so I didn't even wear hair that day.
Oh, and we have an answer to the question.
Yeah.
Wacky waving, inflatable arm flailing 2-man. Thank you, Jamie.
Yes. All right, we're gonna go back to the slides, and that is literally the only picture I took. I only took one stinky picture the whole time I was at Cedar Point. It was literally just like, I remember where I parked my car.
See now that blue. Oh, go back.
Yeah.
Right. This blue roller coaster you see in the background with the 2 white towers with the Eye of the Needle cuts in them. I actually enjoy that one.
Is that the Valraven?
No, we didn't get
that's
on
the
the
Gatekeeper.
Valraven. That's the Gatekeeper.
Got it.
And I enjoy it not just because it's not too terrible in terms of whipping you around, even though it's got like several seats either side, so you get a lot of centrifugal force on the end seats. But it's interesting. It's got a nifty design, and it looks like something out of the old He-Man toy line. I mean, it's got the griffin head at the front and everything, angles. It looks like it was designed for Eternia, basically.
I'm kind of a psycho when it comes to roller coasters. I want the most extreme possible coaster. I want to sit in the front. If the line for the front, I mean the front, if the front has too much of an extra line, because usually you have to wait even longer, sometimes twice as long, just to sit in the front car. I'll sit in the very, very back so that the roller coaster can do its wicked things to my anatomy and beat me up. I am that person. I must be kind of dead inside because I need to go on rides and get thrown around to be like, woo.
Well, you're very unprofessional.
That has to be it right there. I have to do that.
Kathleen says a short wig with clips through the wefts as I get on a ride works great.
Fabulous. Thank you for letting us know that, because yeah, I didn't even bother. I was just like, whatever. Everyone looks like crap at the roller coaster park, so I felt like I fit right in. Because you don't want to. You got to bear in mind that everybody else on most of these really extreme coasters was like 25 and under.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't go comparing yourself to the way you look around those people anyway. And furthermore, they're not really going to be looking at you or your hair. They're just going to see somebody that looks like their mom, probably. And so, yeah, that's just my attitude. I'm like, whatever. I'm over the age of 25. I am therefore invisible to these people. Let's see. I was the worst at taking pictures. I mean it. And the only thing missing is a giant thumb in all the images. So there. Taking care of it.
All right.
Day 4, I hung out with my little brother. Nigel and I both did, and we talked about history. And I also turned him on to the Behind the Bastards podcast. I don't know if you listened to that, but
that's a fun lesson.
Very, very, very good podcast. My brother has a BA in history and an MBA. So we have a lot to talk about when we hang out together. It's pretty cool. And he used to work for Sister Wigs when it was in its infancy. So, it's nice to kind of fill him in on how things are now compared to how they were when he worked for us. And also day 4, my dad came over and visited us and had dinner with us. I hadn't seen him since he had a heart attack in 2019, which I talked to you guys about. But since then, he's defeated COVID and liver cancer, and he stopped drinking. So I'm really, really proud of him, and I was really happy to see him.
And he's lost weight.
He's lost weight because he stopped drinking. So
he's lost a lot of weight.
Good job,
He's on
Dad.
a good diet as well.
Yeah, but that's how I know I inherited my dad's cheeks, because when I lost weight, the first thing that went, it seemed, was the apple of my cheeks. Everything got real flat. And when I looked at my dad, I was like, that is where I got that. And let's see, day 5, Nigel hung out with his guy friends, and I hung out with my mom. So my mom's still here, right? So hi, Mom.
Possibly. I'm not
maybe
sure.
maybe you can help me tell the part about when we were hanging out. But before then, I'm gonna let Nigel talk about his time with the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a little bit of time off screen to make sure that my hairline looks good, and hand things over to Nigel. So you want to sit in my seat, honey?
All right, let's do that.
All right. Woo! Don't be jealous of my booty.
All righty, so here's what happened. with Du Bois. These are guys I've known since high school, so great friends. And we ended up meeting up at my friend Phil's house. Phil, besides being a chemical engineer, is also an amateur astronomer. So he's got some pretty impressive telescope and camera setups. In fact, when Chris and I arrived at his house, he was preparing to photograph the sun through some filters to get good look at the sunspots. And I didn't see anything. He said, go ahead, look through the eyepiece. I didn't see anything. I wasn't looking through it properly, perhaps. But later he posted the images of the sun and the sunspots he took, and they look pretty darn impressive. He does lots of great photography. And light. Anyway, also met up with my my old pal John. He is a doctor in internal medicine up in northeastern Ohio. I've known him since like first week of biology class freshman year of high school. So we bonded over things like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he introduced me to Terry Pratchett novels and all that. So we've had a lot to talk about. My friend Chris, he's been like my best friend for years and stuff. He was best man at our wedding, so that was cool. We just basically hung out. We watched a few video clips. We talked about we played some games. My friend John is into games. So we played a couple of those. One was really complicated and had to do with kaiju stomping each other through a city, and the other was just a sort of a card game where you try to get points as quickly as possible. They're both pretty fun. And we also ate Krauses. If you are not familiar with Krauses, it's a northeastern Ohio thing. It's a chain with a German name that makes Italian-style food, and the franchise where we used to live in North Canton was run by an Irish family. But the pizza is excellent. The sauce is tangy. The cheese is thick. The crust is just about perfect, I think. Not too crispy, not too soft, not too thick, not too thin. And they do amazing roasted chicken and JoJo potatoes, which are just bliss. So we pigged out on all kinds of pizza and chicken and potatoes, and it was absolutely marvelous. And of course, we shot the breeze and just talked and had generally a good time. Sorry? Yeah, Heather just said from out there she hopes so. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was nice seeing them again because I haven't seen them in a couple years. And before that, Chris took me up to meet my second adopted family, his mother and his sister, and his sister's little one who was 2, I think. So not going to give her any names, but for privacy reasons. But it was great seeing my extended family again. Yeah, excellent. You're back?
Yeah.
All righty. I'll let you
put some eye drops in.
All right.
Because toric contact lenses are like sandpaper after a while. So I always try to put a little intermission in here for myself when I'm wearing my contacts, so I have time to put some drops in.
All right. So I'll let you take over, and then
I'm
going to take a short break.
All right.
Because bladder.
That is a factor too. So hi everybody. I'm going to stop for a second and take some comments here. Let's see, where do we leave off? Terry says, wow, good for my dad. I agree too. Like, I'm super proud of him, because he's struggled with the drinking, etc., for a really long time. And I mean, while it stinks that it took, a heart attack and then liver cancer to get him to stop, I'm glad that he got the hint. And I'm very proud of him because when somebody's in, just a little personal thing. Like, I guess maybe it's because I am the child of an addict that for me, it's like, you shouldn't judge addicts too harshly. You can't let them use you. You know what I mean? You can't be codependent, but at the same time, you have to continue to be somewhat compassionate because it must be powerful to go through the grips of something like that and have it be that persistent, even though you know rationally it's killing you. Like, it has to be really intense. Like, I would not know. And because I don't know what that experience is like, aside from sugar addiction, but I mean, like, I don't know what his experience is. So I just got to be like, you know, I'm glad you figured it out and I'm super proud. You know, I'm here for it. And I'm anything he needs, like if he needs advice about diet or whatever, I am here for it. But yeah, I agree completely. Crooked Media started a history podcast. Oh, that might be intriguing too. I mean, I love history podcasts and I love hearing different perspectives. Like, for example, earlier today I was listening to Throughline and they're doing a little series on Afghanistan. I mean, I know we're getting into sensitive topics here and I'm probably not going to be able to monetize this, whatever. This channel actually is not monetized anyway. Sister Wigs 2 has qualified for the partner program for a very, very long time. I just never applied. So the only monetized channel is the original channel, which we've kind of put on, you know, a really soft hiatus till I figure out what I'm doing with it. Let's see. Yes, my mom said she's still here. Woohoo! So cool. Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
AW says, your Lydia topper reminds me of one of my favorite wigs, but it's a center part. I've always wished it had a free parting mono top. I may need to try one. Excellent.
Yes. And we're going to be making some mono part wigs, but we're not really thinking about doing complete mono top wigs at this point because I'm trying to focus on things I can make that aren't going to be super expensive for you. I'm trying to provide like an alternative, honestly, that is a little bit like not significantly less expensive because high quality wigs are expensive to make, period. But my hope is, you know, to offer them at a competitive price point, you know, so that way they're an attractive alternative. And, you know, I would like to be able to price full mono top or even hand-tied wigs really, really competitively. But as you noticed when we launched Inara and Imogen, like we still had to charge quite a bit for those because hand-tied labor is expensive. And I actually wrestled with that quite a bit. We had, this is real tea. I had those wigs sitting in my warehouse for almost what, like a year and a half? They've been there a long time. And one more thing, and then I'll stop going on this tangent, but because it's wig related, I feel like I should air it here. Like, again, about a year and a half ago, when I first came up with the concept for Imogen and Inara, I ran a little contest in the Moon Kitty group, and I ended up picking the name Inara. The problem is that comment is buried, and I can't figure out who suggested it. So if whomever suggested that in the Moon Kitty group would do me a solid, if you see this or if you know who she was, please have her email the help desk because I'd like to give her her prize. For real. Like, I didn't forget about that. I didn't know what to do with those wigs. I didn't know if you guys would like them, considering the fact that they're more expensive, considerably more expensive than anything else that we've tried to produce. But the feedback has been genuinely very positive for both of them, and people are asking us to make more. So if that is what your feeling on the matter is, or if you'd like to give one of them a try, they're very similar, and especially Imogen is very similar to this, and she's fully hand-tied. So that's why I wanted to mention that. But we only made a trial run and then did not make them again because the expense of it, I just didn't know if that was something y'all would be cool with. So if you were wondering what happened with that, that is what it is. But we can potentially make more if you're interested. Same thing with Annika. I know she's a big hit. If you guys would like us to make more of them, let us know, particularly after this video is over and the replay goes up on YouTube, because then everybody can see those comments without having to scroll through whole chat to get there. So hopefully this is good information in case you were interested in those styles. So sorry for the digression, but I thought this one was important. All right. So we'll get to some of your comments in just a moment. I'll give you an opportunity to finish typing those out and then we'll check on some of them. But so I want to talk to you about what me and my mom did. My mom's here with us in the chat, by the way. I think she's
as Facebook
user. She's a private account, so anybody who's got a private account or is viewing us through Moonkitty, it's gonna pop up like that. So my mom and I spent most of our time together, basically just chilling. You know, she did go work in the garden a bit, and we did go swimming. She has a cute little pool, and it was very relaxing, even though I used it mainly to exercise because I'd been eating a lot. But yeah, it was really, really chill. It was just very relaxed. I also got acquainted with her cat. This is Miss Kitty, and she is an adorable little brat. And she, you know, was inspecting me and the camera situation, and she kept like creeping closer. And so that was when she was essentially sniffing my phone, which was really cute. And my mom and I went to go see the world's worst Queen tribute band at a free concert in Akron, proving that you get what you pay for. And I'd like to play you a little clip of that as well. Give me just a second to cue it up. Now I didn't even get the worst examples because we couldn't bear to stay the whole time. It was pretty intense. So yeah, let me.
No, it's not what they call themselves, but that's just.
No, yeah.
See,
yeah.
while I was meeting up with the boys, Heather and her mom went to this horrible Queen tribute band.
All right, are we sharing it now?
You have been warned.
Okay, it's got audio. I don't know I got more. Oh, I got more. Okay, I'll only subject you to one more because they're trying so hard.
I want to ride my bicycle, to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle, want to ride everywhere. To
So, you know, they had enough that we sat there for a little bit, you know. We sat there for a little bit and we were like, you know, they're trying real hard, but it got I say bark, you say fight. No, he screwed up the lyrics, and I can forgive people being slightly flat for a short period of time, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. I wanted to so bad.
The night when I got back from time with the boys, because after Phil and John had to take off, we ended up going back to Chris's house and meeting up with his wife, who I was best man at their wedding for, so, you know, quid pro quo, and their daughter, and talked for ages, and then he dropped me back. No, you and your mom and stepdad picked me up front.
Yes,
because you decided to
we left so early.
You decided to leave the concert early, so you just picked me up where I was visiting them. And yeah, Heather played me one of the clips that you haven't played it here, but it was of a bunch of people booing them.
Yeah. Oh, it was so sad.
Yeah.
So let's see. People are just going, oh no, just no. Make it stop. My mom said, you know, it's bad when they leave in droves at intermission. Yeah, we dipped out at intermission. We did. So, a lot of people did. Yeah. It's just, oh dear Lord, that is terrible. I agree with all of you so very, very much. And yes, just like Freddie's ghost and a magazine with his face on it blessed our wedding.
Yeah, the
ghost will curse them. They will be smote. But yeah, just. Smitten. They will. Oh, that sounds adorable, though.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So let's go back to that. They were like the worst Queen tribute band. ever. All right, so let's go back to sharing the other thing. Technology. We can do this.
Well, we saw that one
yeah.
Queen tribute band in Athens that was very good.
Oh yeah, they
were excellent.
exist.
Yeah.
They do exist. And oh my gosh, when we saw Queen with Adam
Yeah.
Lambert, Adam Lambert is a god. He is so good. Go see him.
Yeah.
Go see him live. You have to see him live to really get it. He's so pitch perfect, and his ornamentation is very tasteful, but a little decadent. It's exactly what you would expect musically, visually, everything. He's so good, and he's so bitchy. Oh, it's delicious. Like, he had a fan. He was like, "Fwap." You know, it was just magical. Gotta just say, they do exist. Just that was not one of them. Also, on day 6, went to a family reunion, and I look a lot like my great grandmother, because I look a lot like my mom, with the exception of I think I have my dad's nose and his cheeks. But yeah. And I told my mom's stepmom that I might make a wig based on her haircut. Her haircut was really cute. I didn't get a picture of the back of it, but I remember it. It was basically like a pixie in the back. So just really, really, really close cut. And that's what the top looked like. Isn't that cute? Oh, and she's in her 70s, or maybe she's in her I don't know. Is she in her 80s at this point, Mom? She's aged pretty well, and her haircut was adorable. It looked great. And I'm trying to design wigs that aren't just for people my age or even younger. I'm trying to make sure I hit everybody. And I thought this was a really nice haircut that especially for people who are a little older. It's not fussy at all. It's another little shake and go. So if you like that idea, let me know, because I think that would translate really well into a wig.
Yeah, Serena says it looks like a shorter Felix.
Yeah, for sure.
Kathleen likes it. Terry thinks it looks Felix. And Mum says she thinks she's about 83.
Yeah, she's held up very well. And I love that she always wears bright colors, because, you know, me and bright colors.
Jody says, we saw Adam and Queen in 2019, as did we. I've loved him since he was on Idol.
He's amazing. He's so good. And he's so pretty. I love his eye makeup.
Oh, hi, Aurelia. Glad you could make it, finally.
Who's that? What?
Aurelia.
Oh!
Said, hello, didn't get the notice, but finally made a live.
Oh,
Excellent.
your puppy is adorable. Oh, we were just talking about, I don't know if that's an American Bull Terrier, but we were just talking about those earlier. They're so sweet. I love when they smile.
Yeah.
Let's see. By the way, I wear hats a lot. This is actually that image with me and my mom's stepmom, but cropped in another direction, so you can see Nigel. I tend to wear a lot of hats when things get really humid outside, because my hair is very reactive to the humidity, and I just can't be bothered. It's sheer laziness. So what is your summer hair strategy? That might be good information for other people to know, particularly if they're still dealing with hot weather. Day 7, we went and visited my friends Ronnie and Nunzio, and we ate entirely too much. We sat there for hours because I have to eat really slowly. So if I want to do the proper grazing, it's got to be excruciatingly slow. And luckily, everyone was cool with it. It was quite decadent, really.
Yeah. Oh, we went to a lovely seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
And Ronnie and Nunzio ordered like 3 or 4 different appetizers.
Oh my God, they were trying to feed an army. I think they ordered like, I have a gastric sleeve, right? So they ordered 3 different appetizers, and they were all huge. And then we all got entrees, and then like the 3 of you guys ordered dessert.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got soup that came with it. It was just, it was a lot of food. People in Ohio do not mess around with their portion sizes.
It's like that for all of the USA, I find.
Yeah.
They're getting to be like that in England as well, although I haven't been back for like 3 years, so I don't know what's been like in the last 3 years. But
yeah, I mean, the rest of it is that we hung out with my mom and my stepmom, or my stepdad, Jeff, and with Bob.
Yeah, their neighbor Bob.
Yeah,
and
Bob's cool.
His
Shadow.
dog Shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Who also likes to lick people.
Yeah, no, Shadow is a beautiful black lab, but
yeah.
he is a drool monster.
Oh, yeah.
He slobbers on everything. But yeah, and then after spending a few days hanging out with my mom, we came home.
Yeah.
The end.
We did have a good day out in the pool.
Yes, we did.
We did have a good day out in the pool, and my old buddy Dave, who was like one of my oldest continuous friends, drove over and visited, brought some hard iced tea, and we sat around we sort of bobbed around in the pool and just chewed the fat and all that for hours and hours and hours, and I got bitten like crazy by mosquitoes.
Yep.
They've mostly vanished now, but dear Lord, it was like my entire legs were connect the dots.
Seriously, he oh my God, he had like a constellation of like overreactions to bug bites all over his leg. It was impressive. It looked pretty uncomfortable though. Oh, and Serena says all that driving. It was a lot of driving. Yeah. Because I mean, he it's taken so long to get his green card that he can't drive now, right?
Yeah.
So we're still in the process. Yeah. But I did all the driving. So yeah, it's 10.5 hours up there, 10.5 hours back, and then driving all over Kingdom Come because we went to Sandusky. And that's like an extra hour and a half. And
Kathleen's going to take off. So.
Bye, Kathleen. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So that's about it for us. I do have a couple more things to touch on just in case you're interested. Like, for example, next week's theme is the world's best worst fake band names. So remember this image of Nigel being far away and visionary and me being very toothy. This will be our theoretical fake band's first album cover. It's very inspirational. The premise: help us name our fake new band and its first fake album based on this epic image. Here are some examples that we've come up with. Would you like to read those off, honey?
Supreme Walnut, Bunny Turf War, Fungal Chicken.
That one's credited to John.
John came up with Fungal Chicken.
Fungal Chicken. That's what he calls mushrooms.
Yeah, because I think we made some chicken with mushrooms. So he called it Fungal Chicken. I'm like, that's a band name right there. And of course, Butterfly Suckle Nut.
That sounds filthy.
Serena says another jangly guitar band out of Athens, lol.
Yes, very, very granola. Delicious.
And as for the album titles, what do we got? Amalgamate Your Watermelon. I'm talking about the fluffy stuff. A Treatise on Makeup and Jam by Nostradamus, which is an actual book, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And Stab It in the Face with Toast.
I said that about an egg one day.
Yeah, stab it in the face.
That I needed to stab it in the face with toast.
Oh, by the way, before you change that, if you've ever watched Tasting History with Max Miller on YouTube, he did recently a recipe on cherry jam by Nostradamus, and it came from his book, A Treatise on Makeup and Jam.
That's right. So it is a real...
It's a real book.
Wow. The things you learn watching the Sisterwigs After Dark live streams. So yeah, leave your suggestions in the comments and we'll go through them. So the goofier, the better. We will read them during the stream next week. Try to leave them in the replay if possible because it makes it easier for us to find. And there you go. We're also going to do an in-depth look at the new Willow wig, which is another item that we will be releasing in November of this year. So it'll be one of our Black Friday releases. And I wanted to kind of give you a taste of what that looks like. She is a full standard cap wig, right? So 100. This is not a topper. This is a wig that you're looking at on the screen. And she's really, really, really cute. I wanted just really soft curls, you know, kind of like mine looked when they would behave. Like I could never get my curls to do this when I was younger, but magically every time I would go to a salon when I had hair, the stylist would always compliment the curls and make it look like this. And I would always look like a doll until I washed it or went outside and the humidity did its thing. So this is kind of like my hair on a good day. Yeah, so I want to say thanks to our newest patron, Diane.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We also want to thank our top patrons, Marnie, Linda, Kathleen, and Serene. Hello. And thank you so much for helping us continue to justify doing all of this crazy stuff. I appreciate it very much, and
All
so
right.
does Nigel.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to go ahead and put everyone else who's on Patreon's name up in here at the same time. You want to take any comments, honey?
Well, we've had some requests for showing all the new topper colors, but I think we're coming up on 2 hours, so we're running a bit late. But
we
that's
will
definitely
dole out that information
we will
every
be looking
single week until Black Friday.
we will be looking at the new toppers, all the colors.
Absolutely.
And all that.
We've got lots and lots of stuff to talk about for sure.
Yeah, I just want
So-
to make sure we hit on that.
All right.
All righty,
So
there we go. Yeah.
that's it. Anybody else want to take some more comments before we go?
Well, Vicky says, I love Willow, beautiful curls.
Thank you. I think she's super cute.
Serena says, and I think I need to renew my Patreon. That would be appreciated.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it will.
Yeah, I actually wrote something in our Patreon, and we'll get to Bettina in a second.
Yeah.
I actually told them that it's basically like he doesn't have a green card yet, so
Yeah.
what he does is he helps me because it's
Yeah.
the only thing he can legally do, and then I can give him an allowance. So we're kind of stuck in that holding pattern. So it really does help because we only have one income right now between the two of us. But I really do appreciate it, and so does he.
Yes, indeed. Tina says, I would like Willow in indigo swirl.
Thank you for letting us know that because I love that color too.
Can't wait to see the colors, and you guys too. Thank you, Jackie. I'm taking that as Mom says, love you and see you later.
Love you too, Mom.
And Liz is taking notes.
Yes. And we will showcase Willow in a whole bunch of different colors next week, and I'll tell you what color she's going to be released and all that stuff. And like I said, as we get these prototypes in closer to Black Friday, I will continue to trickle out this information, and I'll try to be pretty shameless in how much I talk about it. Trust that. Because these are like my babies.
Oh, Tina says, drove from Virginia to California when I got out of the service, stopped at my grandparents in Arkansas along the way. That must have been a hell of a drive.
It's like the great American road trip adventure.
Oh yeah, because when we were living in Ohio, when my family we were living in Ohio, Mom had some old school friends, and the husband really loved to gamble. So every year they'd go to Vegas, and they said, "Why don't you drive down and see us?" So they weren't familiar with how big the U.S. actually is. So it's like, okay, you're only going to be there for 24 hours. If I break all speed limits, we can see you for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Before I have to drive back. So yeah, that's a hell of a schlep. And NYT Mom says, can't wait for refills on Piper and Grayson.
We do have refills of those coming for Black Friday. So yes, we do have a whole bunch of that stuff coming up as well, for sure.
All right. Jamie Ward says, bye.
Bye, Jamie.
And Aurelia says, I just want them all in Moonlit Orchid and Smoke Show. Lol, I'm obsessed.
Good to know, because I'm the one that plans all of the things we order and makes all the stuff. So if you really like certain colors, just keep buying them, obviously. But also, just let us know. And if even if you haven't bought one of them, if you're just like, that color's hot fire, you need to keep making that. That's a valid opinion too. Just let us know.
Okay, this comment has to be shared because it made my eyes bug out. We drove from New York to California with a blind cockatiel once.
How? How?
That needs that needs to be an independent movie. That really does.
It does. It sounds like that was a heck of a story.
Yes. No, we can't do that anymore because they don't make independent films anymore.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh, and Vaughn says killing.
We do have more Vaughn coming. I have stuff ordered. It's not going to be a full refill, but we're going to do a little refill and color expansions as well. So you might see things that you haven't seen released in certain colors come up in the fall. again, more information will be forthcoming.
Yeah.
So I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about all we have time for tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been a long one, but it's been fun. I hope you've had a good time watching. We want to thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Thank you for
indeed.
hanging out wherever you're watching us. And just remember, if you have any inventory questions or anything like that, make sure you contact us. support@sisterwigs.com, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6. We're open to help you. And all right.
Excellent.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Yes,
and we'll
indeed.
see you next week.
All
same
right.
cat time, same cat channel.
Take it easy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.